Hey, George again, Goldcliff Resources, with the fourth and final part of our discussion about our business model and our assets. You know, there's a wise business adage that goes, begin with the end in mind. So how do we wrap all this up? How do we deliver a final value for all the shareholders at the same time? And I'm going to back up a sec and then close with that. So we are of a view, and without getting to in opinions and rants about politics and economics and all of that stuff, we're of a view that there are some fundamental things going on in the world. Mostly they're financial, economic things. The geopolitical things arise out of those. But that is, there's basically way too much debt. And there's so much debt that's affecting the underlying sponsoring paper currencies, and accordingly hard assets, and particularly traditional money like gold and silver, are being revalued and will continue to be revalued in light of that. And again, not to go into a great dissertation about that, but we do hold the view that when the interest alone on the debt occupies a disproportionately huge share of a government's operating balance, budget, that's not sustainable. And we see that going forward. We don't see any solution to that, and we think that the metal prices and other hard assets are responding and will continue to respond to that. That view is shared, and it's shared by a number of business and some financial folks of considerable means. And one of the things those folks grapple with when they think about alternate places for their wealth, i.e. hard assets, i.e. gold and silver, is how do we do this? How do we hold this? And you know, there's not much of a challenge to hold $5,000 or $10,000 worth of gold or silver coins, but 50 or 100 or 200 million worth of bullion, that's a little bit more complicated. And so there's logistics issues with that. There are delivery issues. There are security issues. There are insurance issues. So that's out there, but people are grappling with that. They don't want to participate. If they do want that, they don't necessarily want derivatives or paper gold and silver. They might do well trading those, but that doesn't fulfill their need for precious metals generated cash flow. So the direct ownership that this money, this class of investor is seeking is really difficult to find. 10, 15 years ago was not invented, but popularized the streaming company, and it's kind of a derivative of royalty companies. But again, the investor in that owns shares in a vehicle. He doesn't own the stream. He doesn't have a direct exposure. We have held a view now for a number of years, continue to hold the view that those investors, or that class of investor, is going to become more and more interested in direct ownership of precious metals production. Direct ownership of precious metals production. And we think that trend, which anecdotally has already started, there are some examples of it at work already, we think that trend is going to continue to grow, and then at some point, maybe in the not too distant future, it's going to accelerate. And if we're correct on that, or partially correct, that kind of drives this phased production or bootstrapping business model. What we would like to create from the existing portfolio, if we're lucky enough to find some of the things we think are there, and or acquisitions, and we're always looking at assets that fit or could fit this business model, or any combination of those. What we hope to do is develop a compelling platform that would encourage the acquisition by that kind of investor and that kind of capital. So that's what we see as the end game. That's what we're building towards. I think this has gone on maybe a little longer than I had hoped, but I really wanted to convey to you, our shareholders and anybody looking at us, maybe interested in what we're doing. I wanted to convey to you what we're all about, what our direction is, and to just leave you with the thought that we're not just trying to get a hot assay or drill a nice drill hole to exercise some options and then everybody's going to be happy. We actually have a specific plan. We have assets that fit into that plan, and that plan leads to an exit strategy or an end game that's beneficial to all our shareholders. So thank you for spending your time with us today and getting to know us, and we will see you on the next video.